In this lesson, we're going to learn the relationship between circumference and area of a circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the formulas, and we're going to see that the ratio of area to circumference is always the radius over 2. So let me show you why. So the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. And the circumference of the circle is 2 pi times radius. So if you consider the ratio of area to circumference, you would take the formulas and put the formula for area over the formula for circumference and simplify it. So if we look at pi times radius squared, that's pi times r, over 2 times pi times r, and simplify that. R divided by r is 1, so that cancels, and pi divided by pi is 1, so that cancels. And that shows that the ratio of area to circumference of any circle is half the radius, or r over 2. We're going to do an example where we use this fact in just a little bit. Before that, I want to do an example where we have the circumference given, but you have to find the area. So if the circumference is 19.5, then we use the formula for circumference. Circumference equals 2 pi r. So I plug 19.5 in for the circumference. So I get 19.5 equals 2 pi r. It says to round all intermediate values to the nearest thousandth as needed, which means we're not going to use pi. We're going to use 3.14. So I'm going to have 19.5 times 2 times 3 equals 2 times 3.14 times the radius. So 19.5 equals 6.28 times the radius. And we're going to divide both sides by 6.28. So that is, if I round to the nearest thousandth, it's 3.105 equals the radius. Now I take that and I have to find the area. So I use the formula for area of a circle. Area equals pi times radius squared. I plug r in. So area equals, I'm going to use 3.14 for pi. And I'm going to use 3.105 for my radius. Remember, order of operations, I have to square the 3.105 first. And when I put all of that in my calculator, I get 30.273 if I round to the nearest thousandth. 272, I'm sorry, 272. But the directions say round your final answer to the nearest whole number. So that means that I would have the area being 30, and my label, which is so very important, needs to be square centimeters. Now I realize digits already gives you the label in your answers, but you have to realize you have to do that on your test by yourself. All right, so basically, if you're given the circumference, you need to find the radius by solving the equation for r, and then you plug r into the formula for area. All right, let's take a look at the next one. The ratio of area of a circle to the circumference of a circle, a over c, is 20 over 1. Find the circumference of the circle. So if we know that the ratio of area to circumference is 20 over 1, and by our notes on the front page of this video, we know that the ratio of area to circumference of any circle is the radius over 2. So we set radius over 2 equals 20 over 1, because that's the ratio they give us. Solve for r. So with this, we would multiply both sides by 2, so the radius equals 40. Now I can plug that into my circumference formula. Circumference equals pi times 2 times pi times r. So it's 2, and then it says in terms of pi, so I'm going to keep pi there, times radius, which is 40. So I get 80 pi, and I look at my labels. No labels were given in any of the problem, so notice how they just put the word units at the end. So if no labels are given in the problem, you would write the word units. And we're talking about circumference, so it's not square units. And that's your answer.